I am a bot diver. I scrap metal. I spill oil. I was there for the creek, and I was there when we wiped the Red Menace off the map. For a while, I have been making videos that broadly cover the game, but now I think it's time to go back to my roots to discuss the best weapons for bot divers. As always, these are just my opinions. There really are no bad weapons if you can make them work, but these are my favorites. The first category is primaries, and my first pick for this category is the AR-23P Liberator Penetrator. This is pretty much old reliable. It's the standard medium pen assault rifle that we all know and love. Ever since the buffs it got last year, it's been a staple of many people's loadouts, and it's easy to see why. It is a well-rounded, fully automatic weapon that can dish out damage to most enemies in the game. And just about everyone has it, so it's a good weapon to recommend right off the bat. Next up, we have the BR-14 Adjudicator. This is the only other assault rifle with medium pen right now. And if we're going to compare this to the Liberator Penetrator, this weapon trades volume of fire for pure damage. It does more damage per round than almost any other assault rifle, but it does have some downsides. It has a lot of recoil unless you properly modify it, and it also has pretty low ergonomics. This is the kind of weapon that you want to use when you're shooting from behind cover, or you're engaged in some trench warfare, because it's not meant for clearing out groups of enemies in close quarters. And that is actually why I would recommend it for the bots. This is the faction with the least close quarters combat. The Adjudicator is best for medium range firefights, and you'll find plenty of those against the bots. Next up, we have the R6 Deadeye. This is my personal favorite marksman rifle for a few reasons. It deals 300 damage per round, and that is the most you can get from a standard bullet in the entire game. You add medium pen on top of that, and you have one of the best options for a sniper, period. It is extremely satisfying to shoot, especially since it's the only option for a lever-action rifle in the game right now. This is a sophisticated and elegant weapon, only for the most fashionable and skilled divers. It's also just really good, so go try it out. Next up is the R63CS Diligence Counter Sniper. This is your standard DMR for the bot front. It is a consistent and reliable semi-automatic rifle that is perfect for medium to long range engagements. It's great at taking on risky firefights from a distance, and is able to easily take out most enemies on the bot front without exposing yourself too much. This is pretty much the Liberator Penetrator of marksman rifles. It is a very standard and balanced weapon, but it's very effective. Next up, we have the SMG-32 Reprimand. Ever since they fixed the Reprimand, it has been one of the best medium pen weapons in the whole game, and definitely one of the best for close quarters. The fire rate is slow and the recoil is tough, but if you can land every bullet, then it is incredibly good at taking out most enemies in the game. Once you level it up and get some good attachments for it, you'll be shredding through the bots with this thing. And honestly, you can shred through any faction with it. It's just incredibly good now. Next up is the SG-20 Halt. Much like the Reprimand, this is another great option for close quarters combat against bots, which makes sense. They are from the same war bond after all. This is the only shotgun that can fire flechette rounds, which are medium pen shells with 11 projectiles that deal 35 damage each. That is a lot of damage for a medium pen primary. Once you're up close with this thing, you can just destroy enemies. If you're fighting the bots with this weapon, you'll want to bring something else with some range in your loadout, like a machine gun, an HMG, or an AMR. Next up is the CB9 Exploding Crossbow. What needs to be said about the crossbow? It is effective against every faction, it's medium pen, it's AoE, and it's just damn fun. When you land a shot in the middle of a group of enemies, you'll see them get blown apart, and the ones that don't will stagger. It's incredible at taking out whole patrols with just a few shots. Plus, it's great for some light destruction. You can break down fences and small obstacles with it, or you can land it right in a fabricator to take it down, or open up some shipping containers for some extra loot. There's so much you can do with a crossbow, and the only downside to it is that it fires a slow projectile with a lot of drop. But that's not even the end of the world. You can actually use the drop to land it right in the middle of a group of enemies by aiming a bit above them. Anyway, just use the crossbow, it's great. Next up, we have the R36 Eruptor. The Eruptor is the jet-propelled cousin of the crossbow. It pretty much does the same thing. It's a long-ranged, explosive primary weapon, but it's more direct than a crossbow, of course. It has heavy penetration when you hit dead on with it, and it has shrapnel. Sadly, it is less versatile than the crossbow. The weight of the weapon can be brutal at times, making it very difficult to handle in close quarters. Not that you should be using this in close quarters anyways. The shrapnel is sure to kill you if it doesn't wound you. You should use it like a sniper, sitting at long range and laying into groups of enemies from afar. Or you could level it up, take the sights off, and try and use it at closer ranges. It's your call, but just be careful with this thing. You can easily kill yourself or your friends with it. Next up, we have the Plaz 1 Scorcher. This is one of the most consistent weapons in the game, definitely more consistent than its counterpart, the Purifier. It's perfect for dealing some great damage with medium pen, and it even has some splash damage. So if enemies are grouping up a little too close to each other, you can destroy them in a few shots. This is definitely one of the best energy weapons in the game, and it's good against pretty much every faction, so don't just take it against bots. And the last primary I have is the Jar 5 Dominator. This is quite a unique weapon, and it's one that I don't use very often, but it is definitely good enough to put on this list. It's unwieldy and slow, and can be tough to use when you first pick it up, but it's incredible once you get the hang of it. It deals great damage, almost as much as the Slugger does, but this is much easier to use at medium to long ranges. And it still penetrates medium armor. Every round is satisfying to shoot. They deal great damage and inflict a lot of stagger, so you really get to feel the impact of every shot fired. This is just a great weapon for fighting bots in general. Now, we're going to move on to secondaries, with my first pick being the P113 Verdict. This is probably my most used secondary at this point. It's just so well balanced and satisfying to shoot, so it's an easy and comfortable option for me. The damage is competitive with some marksman rifles, and it even has medium armor pen, which is great for a secondary. The sights aren't perfect, so you need to be a good shot, but if you are, then it's a great weapon, especially for bots where armor pen is important. It's incredible for a secondary. It feels like a primary at times with how good it is. Next up, we have the P4 Senator. Even though I use the Verdict a lot, this is probably my favorite secondary in the game. It's so damn fun to shoot and it's very effective. This is one of the only loadout weapons with heavy armor pen, and it's the only traditional revolver, so this weapon does things that few weapons can. It's perfect for whipping out during a fight to take out a strider that's harassing you, or even to kill a Hulk if you have the aim for it. It's a lot like the Deadeye, where you need great aim to make the most out of it. And if you run both of these weapons, then you have my respect. Next up is the Laz 58 Talon. This is a strong contender for the best pistol for many reasons. There are lots of things to like about this weapon. Let's start with the damage. It deals the same amount of damage as the Senator, but with medium pen. This makes it perfect for general usage against most enemies. It fires very quickly, giving it great burst potential, but you need to watch out because it is heat-based, so you can only fire a short volley before you need to lay off the trigger for a while, or you can just say fuck it and burn the whole heat sink out. Being heat-based has pros and cons, but if you know how to use a heat-based weapon, they can be extremely effective, especially as a secondary. The Talon is great for a bit of backup firepower when you need it. You fire off a few rounds and put it back in the holster to cool off, and repeat. Next up, we have the GP20 Ultimatum. This is quite literally the most destructive weapon that can fit in your standard loadout, and it goes right in your pocket. A single shot is enough to destroy a variety of enemy structures, and of course the enemies themselves. They recently rebalanced the Ultimatum to no longer destroy stratagem jammers, which was a bit disappointing but ultimately was the right move. It became a necessity on bot missions, making it one of the only hard meta options in the whole game. But in return, they rebalanced the explosive itself to be much better for AoE damage. So it's a great get out of jail free card if you find yourself facing an overwhelming enemy force. Now we're going to move on to throwables, with my first pick being the G6 Frag. The Frag is one of the best grenades in the game, in my opinion. Not only is the shrapnel very effective against groups of enemies, it has a short fuse and is very easy to use. Plus, it's great for taking out fabricators because you get 5 of them by default, which can be increased to 7 with certain armor passives. That is a lot of extra firepower to work with, and more people should be taking frags. They're just great. Next up, we have the G12 High Explosive. This grenade has one major thing going for it, and that's heavy armor pen. This is a great grenade for conventional use against armored enemies. This is also a very easy to use grenade, and it's great against groups because of its high damage. So consider taking it if you want a more traditional grenade. That's really it. It's just a really basic grenade. Next up, we have the G3 Smoke. The Smoke is not one of the best grenades in the game, especially if you're talking about conventional explosives, because it isn't an explosive at all. But there's nowhere else that I would rather use the smoke grenade than on the bot front. Since bots usually have you engaged in medium-range firefights, these can actually be useful for repositioning and flanking. They're great for confusing enemies and blocking off sight lines, and of course they're the only option for it. So try these out every now and then. They aren't super powerful, but they do open up new tactics for you to use on the battlefront. Next up, we have the G123 Thermite. Of course, Thermite had to be on here. He's pretty much my best friend at this point. There are almost no problems that this thing can't solve. You need to kill a fabricator from behind, kill a factory strider, a Hulk. This little bundle of joy will solve all of those problems for you, no worries. The only downside to Thermite is that you can only hold 3 at a time by default, but you can increase that to 2 at a time with the right passives. Despite that, it's still an incredible grenade and one of the best for bots, for sure. Next up, we have the G142 Pyrotech. This is one of the newest grenades and also one of the best. You toss it down and it spits out fire at nearby enemies, but the fire that shoots out of the grenade itself is anti-tank, meaning that yes, it can kill just about anything in the game, including fabricators, factory striders, and hulks, just like Thermite can. No doubt this is one of the most useful grenades in the game. And did I mention that you can hold 6 of them by default? That's right, you can hold more Pyrotech grenades than any other throwable in the game. That is double the amount of Thermite that you can carry, and it even outclasses frag grenades too. The only downside to the Pyrotech is it can be difficult to use properly. You need to throw it at enemies' feet and have them walk into it or have them stand still around the area. It can be a bit finicky to use, but when you use it correctly, it's incredible. Now we're going to move on to support weapons, with my first pick being the MG43 machine gun. This is a classic. It's an all-rounder. You'll be hard-pressed to find a situation where it's not useful to some degree. It's perfect for any mission, against any faction, so of course I'll recommend it against bots. Not much needs to be said about it. We've all used it before. It's the first support weapon you ever get. Next up is the APW-1 anti-material rifle. This is one of my personal favorites. I love sniper rifles in most games, and this is pretty much our only traditional sniper rifle. It's perfect against bots for a bunch of reasons. The accurate and long-range firepower is the main draw for this weapon, coupled with heavy armor pen, great damage, and a solid rate of fire, and you have yourself a great weapon for taking out enemies at long range. Not to mention that it doesn't require an ammo backpack or a stationary reload, so it's great for staying on the move too. The AMR is another weapon that is great in pretty much any situation. It's incredibly well balanced and well rounded, and you should be taking this thing more often if you aren't already. Next up is the EAT-17 Expendable Anti-Tank. This is one of the most unique support weapons in the game, but it's also very fun and satisfying to use. You can constantly call it in when the cooldown ends, so you can litter the battlefield with dozens and dozens of single-use rocket launchers, perfect for missions where you'll be covering a lot of ground and backtracking. It's also great for quickly calling in to destroy enemy structures such as fabricators. Plus, you get to share it with your squad, and sharing is caring. Plus, I only recently noticed that EAT-17 means eat it. It means eat it. I've played a lot of Helldivers too, and I never noticed that. Next up, we have the GR8 recoilless rifle. What needs to be said about the recoilless rifle? It's one of the greatest weapons in the game, balanced only by the required ammo backpack and stationary reload. The only support weapon that deals more damage in a single shot is the spear, but this can be freely aimed, making it perfect for quickly killing heavy units or destroying buildings. This is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It's so damn fun and useful and satisfying. It's satisfying to even reload it, so it's one of the greatest of all time. Plus, I also noticed for this one as well that GR8 means great. I'm just blind as hell, apparently. Next up, we have the AC-8 autocannon. This is another classic support weapon, and definitely the most consistently good support weapon since launch. It's pretty much perfectly balanced, but it's still super fun and useful. I hope everyone has used the autocannon before. If not, then you need to go pick it up right now. It's great against all kinds of enemies, partially due to the multiple ammo types that allow you to program the weapon for different situations. The APHET lets you penetrate heavy armor dead-on enemies, and the flak is perfect for groups. It fires tons of shrapnel all over the place, and it has a proximity trigger, so you can shoot it right next to a strider, and it will detonate next to it and take out the pilot immediately. This weapon can do so many amazing things. So, you know, if you aren't using it, then what are you doing? Next up, we have the MG206 Heavy Machine Gun. Even though I love the standard machine gun, I love this a lot more. It fits my playstyle as a slower-paced, cover-to-cover kind of player. It's perfect for posting up and just unloading into enemies. It lets you do some proper trench warfare against the bots. Having a full auto machine gun with heavy armor pen is just insane, and it doesn't even require an ammo backpack. So you can pair it with a guard dog for more firepower, or a shield backpack to protect yourself, or a supply pack to feed more ammo into it. This is one of the most fun weapons to shoot in the game. That slow, heavy fire rate. It just feels right. Next up, we have the RL-77 Airburst Rocket Launcher. And here we are with another very fun weapon to shoot. This is definitely one of the most satisfying weapons in the game, in my opinion. Launching out a rocket that splits open and devastates a large area is just so satisfying to see, especially against airborne enemies like gunships. It's so much fun seeing all of those bomblets go off. It's not a perfect weapon. It's very easy to kill yourself or your team with it, but as long as you're careful and you use it properly, it's very good. It takes some time to get used to, but when you do, it's just amazing. Next up, we have the FAF-14 Spear. If there's anywhere you should be using the spear, it's against the bots. This is great against so many different enemies and structures on the bot front. It's great for shooting down gunships, taking out factory striders, bulk fabricators, command bunkers, you name it. There's nothing else in the game that can deal this much damage to a single target. There are a few problems with this weapon. The lock-on isn't a deal breaker for me, but the ammo backpack does have a very small capacity, so hopefully they buff it soon. It should be a good side grade to like the recoilless rifle, but it needs a bit more ammo for that to be the case. Next up, we have the STA-X3 Wasp launcher. I've been using this a lot more since the invasion of Super-Earth, and damn, it's fun. It has incredible damage output. Every single shot deals anti-tank damage on impact, and medium pen damage in a radius around the impact, so it's perfect for dealing with an assortment of enemies. It can just melt patrols. I'm not a huge fan of the alternate firing mode, artillery. It's really not worth using most of the time, but the burst mode is incredibly satisfying and very useful. Definitely the most fun lock-on weapon in the game. And finally, the last support weapon and the last weapon on this list is the LAZ-99 Quasar Cannon. The Quasar Cannon is a great side grade to the recoilless rifle. It doesn't have the same effect on target, but it has other advantages. The best thing about it is that you don't ever need to reload. You fire, and it goes on cooldown. Simple as that. So you can land a shot, switch to another weapon, and keep moving. This also means that you don't need an ammo backpack, so you're able to bring more utility into battle with you. The main downside, however, is the charge time. You need to charge every shot for a few seconds before firing, and this can leave you vulnerable to enemies. It also means that it has a low rate of fire. Between charging and cooling down, you can't fire it nearly as fast as the recoilless rifle. It's still a great choice for people that want the devastation of a rocket launcher, but don't want to deal with stationary reloads or ammo backpacks. Keep that in mind before you go and use it. It's still a great choice, and it's very useful for those hit and run tactics like I said earlier. Now take all the weapons that I just talked about and go and make some loadouts with them. There's so many great combos you can make out of these. Make sure that you mix it up and try out new things. Try out some different stratagem combos as well. You can find some great combos out there if you just experiment. I've learned a lot about great combos from the comments on my own videos. I love to read them. So make sure you leave a comment about your favorite weapons for Botdivers. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed watching, and subscribe for more videos on Helldivers 2. And that's all I have for today, so this is the SES Prophet of Dawn signing off.